coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Smith going to look to throw right away.
It's caught. Lockett. And some room to run now. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Now they'll run. It's Ken Walker. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak, and what's working in their favor, the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Off of play action, here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Geno down to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
Myers' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Out of the end zone, it's Tutu Atwell. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 18. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Caldwell. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now here's a throw right side. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up inside the 20. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter.
Makes the score Seahawks 10, Rams nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Atwell now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
They're on 24-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Stafford. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stafford. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week, an unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
From the 50, Stafford. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Stafford.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To the air again, Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And Gay knocks this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's Walker.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On second down, it's Walker.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Sticking with Walker on second down. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They're going right back to Walker.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Let's go now.
A shotgun snap for Smith.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run Walker.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Myers' kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford on first down. That'll be caught. It's caught. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Gay's kick is good, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
From just inside the 20, a short kick.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Atwell now from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A give for Walker running right.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing a shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And Walker once more.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the one. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on fourth. They snap it to Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They wanted to throw for it. A surprise does not work on 4th and goal from the 1. And this Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. And Caldwell's got it over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
First and 10, 31 yards on.
Throwing is Stafford. It's completed to Caldwell. Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Stafford looks to throw again. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he will find Atwell. That's complete. And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Right back to Atwell. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, tell all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. That's a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now Gino.
Looking for Lockett, and he's got him working his way free across the middle.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
To the right side, this is Walker.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 119 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front. Say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Strange ballgame, Charles. We did not have a single point by either team after half. Really a defensive clinic by both sides in half number 2.
Wasn't that just beautiful to watch? Come on, man. Come over to the dark side with me. Wasn't that fun to see these defenses holding sway, right? Making sure they're controlling the game in the second half? It lets you know that you've got to score points when you can. You never know when offenses might go a little bit dry, and you need those points from earlier.
So for this